a check with her. So he says, she spells it like this, Uma, U-M-A, and she wears in a very funny way, in a brown sari, maroon brown sari kind of a thing. Yes, I don't know anyone by that name. So then another communication from her, you ask your mother, she would tell you who she is. So I asked my mother, who is this Uma lady? She said, that's my mother. That means my grandmother. But in India, in some families, especially like mine, maternal grandmothers, we don't interact much except in your childhood. And my childhood, I was so far away into schools. She would come and go, and I would never realize that she has gone visited home. See. But she knew all about my life, and she pinpointed in that message that in your childhood you were like this, you were like this. So I asked my mother, is this medium just playing rookie with me, or is she real? No, this is everything's correct. Otherwise, why would she know her name, her dress descriptions? Now, the most amazing part is, she is in the brighter world. That was to me a big surprise. How could she make it to the brighter world? She never meditated. She never met Babuji Maharaj even once. And she passed on sometime in 1980. Then I learned from my mother that she used to take a flower every morning that used to grow in front of her house and put it on Babuji's photo. Everybody should pick up the fresh flower and put it on the frame. Oh my God. And then I told this to Master. So he says, what do you learn from this? I said, Master, perhaps it's the faith. Yes, it is the faith that works, not the process. You can be meditating, nothing may happen without the faith. And faith is a matter of attitude again. And if you listen to Master's talk that he gave in San Francisco to an open house, addressing to an open house, he said, 95% success depends on our attitude. 5%, that too is too much to attribute to your practice. So, when a newcomer comes, don't be so harsh on them. Say, oh, you must stop this thing. You must accept Sahaj Mark exclusively for 3 months and you must not do anything else. No, that is going too far, I think. They will stop. They will not even try it then, say. Very rarely a person who has not been doing anything will say, okay, I will stop everything and come to you. But those who are doing something, why would they do it? Why would they quit it? Even though they want to quit, even though they know they are not finding any benefit with what they have been doing, yet the very fact that you are asking will prevent them from quitting it. In fact, encourage them. Do it 10 times if you are doing only once. Encourage them. But make sure you do this as well along with. And slowly what has to remain will remain. That too also we don't have to tell them. See? Don't scare them. Because they will say, oh, this guy is so confident, that means I'm going to drop my other things. We don't give ideas at all. Let their heart follow whatever they want to do. We have the freedom of following our own heart. Why can't we give that freedom to others? And when we have such a confidence in our system, so many magical things can happen with this transmission, and our Master's help is there. Why are we being afraid and becoming cowardice? That, oh no, you better stop that and do this only. No. We must have confidence in our system and give it with courage and conviction that yes, they will feel it. With preceptors especially now, Some of them, they say, oh, how can I give 3 abhyasis, 1 introductory sitting at the same time? You can give to 300, you can give to 3000 also. Try it and see for yourself. In presence or in absentia, it has to work. If it fails, that means you yourself don't have conviction. And this conviction, it is not a gradual thing, see. If you don't have it now, you don't say it will increase 10% tomorrow and 15% later. Conviction is not like that. Either you have it or you don't have it. If you don't have it, please resign. I'm requesting you, please resign if you don't have such conviction. Masters will be very happy. Okay, any questions you have on this heartfulness?
I'm writing some questions here. Okay, talk. You say that after each meditation session, we should have some sort of suggest to the participants to write their experiences. Any guidelines for preceptors or people conducting the heartfulness session to convey to the participants what they should be observing during the meditation?
Yeah, okay, let's see, there are 50 new seekers here, and you ask them to meditate as per our methodology, just the method, 15 minutes, and you say that's all. You give them time, few minutes to write their experience. Give them time, and then when they're all finished, move on to relaxation, and then the first introductory sitting.
Okay.
And then after that also let them write their experience. That's all. And you say, now you compare it yourself. You don't have to say anything to us. You compare it yourself.
So then this leads to the next question that I've noticed in the heartfulness program that you, for instance now, you have this way of slowing down time, of making sure that this is a priority and nothing else is clouding your judgment, or you're not disturbed by anything else. And that's a problem for a lot of us. We get carried away with our work and we forget the importance of the program. How do you do that? What suggestions do you have for the people?
Oh, this is Abhyas's problem. And I mean, we all go through this. This has nothing to do with heartfulness though. This is a problem we all face. Preceptors, Abhyasis, everyone, see. What to do with it? It's very easy to say that meditation is all about feeling or thinking of presence of divine light in the heart. We begin with the idea that the divine light is present in my heart. We begin with this thought. And slowly what happens? That thought is gone. Other thoughts may come, but at that time you remind that I am meditating. And slowly a time comes, you're absolutely gone. And there is a unique feeling to that, see. Now, from that thought, you have started feeling something. And when this feeling is there for a longer period, we try to make it even longer and longer like that, see, through practice. What helps in this process is constant remembrance. Constant remembrance is nothing but retaining this feeling for the longest period, see. It is like this, when your grandchild or child gives you a flower, and in your rush going to office, you leave it on the table. By the time you come in the evening, it's all dried up. And the child, when sees this dried up flower on the table, Dad, he didn't even take this flower. What do you think that child will, think of you at that? So what happens now? When we don't appreciate the gifts, the gift giver is hurt in the process. When we do not appreciate the spiritual gift that we receive through meditation, do we think that my gift giver will be upset? He not just upset like a child, he really cries his hearts out actually. I gave this condition and it is lost. He really cries literally from within his heart. But there are some who appreciate such gifts. They go to office and say, oh, look at this, my daughter or my son gave me this flower. And they put it on the table, take a picture, send it to the daughter or son. How to cherish that gift? Everyone, you have to find your own ways of doing it. See? It is easy for people to say, remain connected with Master, remain connected with your experience, remain connected with your feelings. Or each time you do your work, connect yourself with Master, thinking that He is doing it. Somewhere along we have to start, as per our own, idiosyncrasy. And I assure you that whenever we start something, their help is 10 times greater than our single effort. They'll make our process even easier. This activity must become a reflex kind of an activity. See? What I mean by reflex is, you'll understand when I give this example of cycling. When a little child, 2 years, 3 years old, learns how to cycle, we give them a cycle with 4 wheels. Then slowly it comes to 3 wheels. Then there are 2 big wheels and 1 smaller wheel on the side. The child starts cycling in a very confident way. See, of course, we have to support in the beginning. Then you remove the 3rd wheel, you hold the hands and they start paddling, and they go from block after block on their own with their friends. Time comes, they have a school bag on their back, their friends with them, going away cycling. Now what do you think here? Cycling is the main thing, or gossiping with friends, or singing with friends, or going to school? Here everything is so important to a child. Child has now forgotten how to paddle. Nevertheless, the child is still paddling the cycle. It becomes a subconscious activity now. See. Of course, in the beginning, the child had fallen so many times and bruised the ankles and knees. Meditation, retaining the spiritual conditions, is also like that, something like cycling. Initially, there is some disconnect now and then, but we patch it up again, see. If interest is there. The key thing is interest. Interest will find ways and means how to make it happen. If you don't have interest, no amount of teachings, no amount of methodology, techniques, transmission, nothing would work. Do you have interest? If you have it, you'll find your way.
I have 2 or 3 more other questions. I don't know if others have. I've been writing them here. I read somewhere recently, or there was some discussion about the source of light attracting one's attention. Can you talk a little bit about that as part of the heartfulness, where we meditate and we suggest to the aspirant to be attracted to the source of the light within?
Well, this is from one of the letters from Babuji Maharaj to Anapyasi. He's writing it, how to meditate. He says, meditate on the presence of the light, which is already there in your heart. Think that it is attracting your attention towards itself. This was sometime in 1948, that letter was written to an Abhyasi. So the idea that it is attracting, that itself is a new phenomena actually. Now you are not focusing. You are pulled by that attraction. See, that idea is there, that it is attracting. Now what is it that is attracting me? We don't know. None of us know divine light. So, but it's an assumption. See? It's a supposition that divine light is present in my heart. See? Or the conviction that it is already there. Now I am praying that may I have the experience of this presence. And we are open to it. We pray to the Lord and say, my Lord, whatever be, let me experience your presence, however it be. My conditions are not such that it has to be like this, or it has to be like that, or I should be in a thoughtless state, or I should be in a samadhi state, or I should be a zombie. No. If there are millions of thoughts coming even after praying this way, let it be. Go through that process. If you are in a thoughtless condition, well, anyway, you're not going to fight it. Because you have no thoughts to fight with it. So we have to accept everything. Thoughts and thoughtlessness.
Just a couple more questions. I'm fascinated by the Heartfulness logo. Can you, in your words, describe what you think it is?
Yeah. To me, when the artist sent this particular logo, instantly it clicked my heart and said, yes, this is it. Yeah. There is a heart there, see? That's our heart. Then there is another heart, another person, third heart, another person. So the many hearts, they come together. And it triggers that egregore. And the waves are created, see, in the world. Those waves are depicted at the bottom, see. So that's what Babuji also has been saying from the brighter world, telling us, my dear Abhyasis, I need your help. I need help of every Abhyasi. In what? Please practice the way it is prescribed. When you do this, you will attain a certain level of consciousness. When the consciousness of everyone is creating this ripple, egregore will be set in. This egregore, once it reaches its tipping point, will trigger much needed mutation. That's when humanity will take a quantum leap. This is the roadmap. But I like this logo because the aspect of egregore is there, many hearts coming together and creating that ripple. I think that's heartfulness.
I have just two more questions I wrote down right now. So you talk about sittings at a distance. For in the Heartfulness program, we introduce the people. We do get them to meditate first, and then the relaxation, and then the sitting. Then the second and third and fourth sittings. Do you suggest that we set a pre-established time if they are not present? Sit at 9 o'clock at night, and we'll give you a sitting at 9 o'clock. Do you suggest some system for that?
Well, that will have to be one-to-one only, because one-to-one in the sense that person has to sit at a specified time. Right? But as a preceptor, you could be giving a sitting to one fellow in New York City, another in San Francisco, third person maybe in Austin. You give them a time 9 p.m., all three at the same time. You know, they can adjust their time per their zone. See.
So you can be continuing working on them while they're awake still. They may not know it, but
No, this for the sittings, they will have to know that they are receiving sitting.
Right.
Yeah.
Specific times then?
Yes.
Okay. And then you also mentioned something, introducing them to the maxims, which is our foundation. At what point do you suggest that we introduce them to the maxims? In the first session itself, or down the road?
Down the road.
Down the road.
Even to most dedicated abhyasis, those who show so much of sign of devotion, we don't reveal them. It is not that anything is secret with these 10 maxims. Not at all. We reveal to them when they are ready for it.
Okay. I think I have asked all the questions. Someone else has any questions?
Thanks, Master. I have a question about assuming divine light. And then I was thinking that when you assume and practice on divine light, at some point we will see the divine light in the, even if you are closed, you will see the divine light. Like I was believing that the law of attraction, what you think most you attract. So don't we see the divine light?
You will never see it, sir. It's not a thing to be seen. To be seeing is sensual thing with senses.
But
While
with the inner eye we can see some, the
then
third
it is
eye.
different. That is different thing. Now you're talking of experiencing the divine light. But even that, when we experience something, see, there are three entities involved. Three things are involved: experience itself, person who is experiencing, and the entity being experienced, God, the devotee, and the experience. Now, when you have completely experienced